Hey there, it's the 19th of September 2021. Let's check in on some cyclones. Trouble may be brewing in northwestern Italy as a low pressure system moves in. It's forecast to become a so-called Genoa low in this region. Currently associated with this system, it looks like we have some severe thunderstorms going on over Vercelli and heading towards Novara, also up here, with a lot of precip going into the Alps. This system is not just bringing lots of heavy rain, but it's also dumping a lot of snow on the highest peaks of the Alps. And check this out, over the next 24 hours we've got 40 centimeters, approaching half a meter in the highest peaks above Zermatt in the European Centre model. With those totals, probably potential for avalanches and terrible climbing conditions. Call off those climbing trips. Over and off the coast of West Africa, we're watching two easterly waves. The one over to the west here is forecast to develop potentially into a tropical cyclone by National Hurricane Center. And we've also got an easterly wave off the coast, and it's a pretty elongated in a north-south direction. And this, although doesn't look much as it heads off in this direction, there's actually a secondary potential wave heading down in a more tropical direction, which is a potential interest in the long term. Here is the European Centre surface wind forecast, and the first low pressure system is here, and that's forecast to go off in this direction. Let me clear that. And the other is over this region, can't really see it in this wind field. But let's click forward. This system moving off to the northwest develops a little bit, but isn't a particularly significant system. But have a look at this surge down here. As we go forward, it actually does create a vortex, a low pressure system that develops into a tropical cyclone in this model as it heads off towards the west. So this is very interesting, potentially of interest as it heads towards in the direction of the Caribbean in the very long term. It's also present in the GFS, but in a different location and at a different time, a bit slower in the GFS. Over in the Western Atlantic, we've got, I think this is Storm Odette, and that's actually going to bring some strong winds into Newfoundland, I think. And then we've got Peter down here, and let's check in on Peter, because Peter is heading off somewhere over here. Here's the Hurricane Wharf forecast, and quite frankly, the Hurricane Wharf does not really like Peter, showing very little development throughout the whole run, staying at about 1008 millibars. European Centre isn't too keen on it either. It's down here, peaking out 30 knots. So not getting up to hurricane strength in either of these models, staying as a marginal tropical storm. Yeah, National Hurricane Center don't like it either, keeping it as a tropical storm, and a weak one at that. Chanthu now is pretty much finished. However, I'd like to jump back several days and remember this stunningly vicious passage across the Batanes Islands of the northern Philippines. Now we have some Sentinel-2 images which show the after effects from this passage, and if we look at the before image, we can see that the island here is quite green, and then afterwards it turns brown, which is a sign of defoliation of leaves from the severe winds. Also on the northern side of the island, you can see muddy outflows or signs of muddy outflows along this plume which comes down from the volcano here. And I think I'll leave it at that for today. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.